Hello everyone, this is Priyasha from XAT, and in this video we're going to discuss how to clear the quant cutoff in the XAT examination. Now remember one thing, I have come up with 7 different plans for 7 different category of people. After a lot of work, a lot of effort has gone into devising 7 different plans for 7 different types of categories, and I think that all the people whom I've contacted, among them, of course, they fall broadly into this category, 7 categories. And if you find that you're not in any of the 7 categories, you can tell me. I will see you through it. Okay. But then I have found out a way of figuring out how you will categorize yourself. Of course, there is a, slight thing idea in your mind by all the mocks you have given so far, or the PYQs you have given so far. You can get an idea of how well you are doing in the quant section, whether you are bad, whether you are good, or whether you are moderate. So, depending upon that, but I'll still make sure that I will take that luck factor into consideration as well as your general factors or general things into consideration. Now, what do I mean by this? In exam, you must have seen that, let's say that you are not so good in time, speed, distance. But in the exam, you come across a question which looks like doable, and when you do, you see that you come to an answer which matches with your option. So there are some lucky chances, right? Similarly, you're very good at, let's say, ratios, but you are not able to solve the ratio questions given in the question. So this kind of a luck thing also matters. So keeping that in mind, I will tell you in this video, first of all, 3 things. Please remember. First, let me tell you what I'm going to tell you. So I'm going to tell you 7 different strategies or plans to clear the cutoff. So when I say clear the cutoff, I'm not talking about maximizing the score. Remember, to maximize the score in the quant section, you guys very well know what to do. I have been discussing this in the past 2 videos. The second thing which I want to tell you is this video is completely in coordinates with the previous 2 videos. That was the important topics of quant and the important topics of DI. So in case you haven't seen through those videos, please go ahead and watch those videos and come back to this video. That will give you a better clarity. Okay. And the third and the most important thing for this video, जो मैं seriously सबको बोलना चाहती हूँ, please pay attention to this. Number one, you should stay optimistic. You should go around and say people that, okay, I'm doing fairly well in my preparation. That's fine. But don't lie to yourself. Don't try to fool yourself by saying, और कितना मेहनत करूंगा यार. Or don't say like this that, अरे और कितना पढ़ना है. अरे मैंने पढ़ा ना, मैंने बनाए ना 2 questions. ये खुद के साथ ये जंग मत लड़िए. Okay, don't fight a war with yourself that okay, I have done enough of it, or I am in a good space. Don't fool yourself, because if you start fooling yourself, no one can help you, including me. Okay, so a very common thing I have seen in people, I have myself done it to myself also. That's why I'm saying this. That एक time आता है जब आप frustrate हो जाते हो, आप saturate हो जाते हो, and at that point of time you feel like giving up. But then at that point itself, remember, try to figure out where are you going wrong. And if you are bad at something, admit it. किसी और को बताने की जरूरत नहीं है. If you feel you can tell it to your mentor, go and tell. But then if you don't want to tell, don't tell. It's totally fine. But आपको खुद को पता होना चाहिए कि आपका क्वांट्स खराब है या क्वांट्स अच्छा है या क्वांट्स बन जाता है, उस कैटेगरी में हो. किस कैटेगरी में हो वो खुद को जानना जरूरी है. All right, so accept the fact. Okay, now I am going to tell you a test in this. Okay, I'm going to tell you a test, and it might happen that the people who think they are good in quant might go bad in this test, and the people who think they are bad in quant might go well in this test. So, this is completely a luck factor as well as your hard work factor included. So, इससे अच्छा और कोई तरीका नहीं हो सकता. मैं personally इसे use कर चुकी हूँ, so I can, vouch on the credibility of this process. I'm not sure how many of you have solved the XAT 2019's quant section. If you have already solved, take any other section, I mean, take any other year of XAT which you haven't solved, okay, and try it out over there. Otherwise, you can try it out in XAT 2019. Okay, so number one, how will you test yourself? Okay, so the test part is you take the paper of XAT 2019. Okay, now various sites have various positions and question numbers of the paper, so I will not tell you the question number. Open the quant section. Now the quant section will start from a certain number and end in a certain number. Let's say it starts with 70. I mean, no, I'm just going too much. Let's say it starts with 50, okay, and it ends in, let's say, 70. 8. Okay, like just a random number, guys. There are not 78 questions, there are 75 questions. You can minus accordingly. I'm just giving you an example. Okay, don't take it seriously. You see that it starts with 50, ends in 78. Okay. Then out of this, make a list of the quant questions like this much, this much, this much, this much. Write down the numbers of the quant questions. Write down the numbers of the DI question. Then pick anyone around you who has no relation with mathematics and your studies. Okay. It can be a kid playing around or your maid or anyone. Okay. Who has no references to what you're doing. Just go and ask them to pick two numbers from the quant section and two numbers from the DI section. Okay. For example, you went to person A and asked, person A said, okay, I select 61 and 64 from this section, and I select 52 and 71 from this section. You are like, okay, you got four questions with yourself. Okay, now please understand this test taking strategy. मैं बार बार नहीं बोलूंगी. You can of course go back and watch. What am I saying? Okay, but yes, please ध्यान से सुनिए. You have got four questions from that person. Okay, you will come back. यू विल स्टे फेयर विथ योरसेल्फ. ओके, क्वेश्चंस पहले से देख मत लेना सारे, या फिर उन्हें इन्फ्लुएंस मत करना कि यहाँ से यहाँ पर ही बोलना. हाँ, ओके. सो कम बैक विद दैट फोर क्वेश्चंस. ओके, now out of those four questions you will get some options. Okay, I'll tell you what options am I talking about. There are seven different possibilities in this situation. What are those seven possibilities? Possibility number one is category number one people, those who will get both the questions correct. This is quant section, this is DI section. The ones who get both the conditions or questions correct are the first category people who are doing fairly good and nice in their quant section. So for you people, you need to maximize your score in the quant at any point, okay, of time. So remember that this is your strong area. This is how you identify. Now let me just give you the categories first and then I'll give you the suggestions. Okay. Now category number two. Category number two, let's say you get one correct in quant and two correct in DI. That means you're doing fairly good in DI but moderate in quants. That's category two. Category three will be just the vice versa. You're doing very good in quants and moderate in DI. That gives you third one. Now the fourth category people are the ones who are doing moderate in both the sections. That means one questions correct in both the quant and the DI. Moderate in both. Now the fifth category people will be lying where they would be the ones who would get one that is moderate in quants but very bad or bad in DI. You were not able to solve a single question in DI. This puts you into the fifth category. The sixth category will be again the vice versa, not able to do any question in quants but able to do one question in DI, that is moderate in DI. And the last and the one which is most populated category, you end up with no marks in both the sections. You are bad. Okay. As I said in the beginning of this video, you have to admit that you are doing bad in this section. Even luck will not favor you. Okay, in that case. So there are seven categories. Now you guys have to understand how are you going to spend the remaining set of days. This strategy is not for the folks who are preparing for last next year. Okay, so ये बिल्कुल मत सोच के चलना कि इसी कैटेगरी के साथ मैं अपने पढ़ाई शुरू करूंगा. This is only to help my friends who are freaking out in the quant section. You would not believe me. Yesterday I got 78 messages from different people regarding the same thing of quants and DI section. They are like freaking out, literally. So I have to help them in this case, and therefore this video is only dedicated to those folks who want to work on their quant section. Okay, so pay attention right now. This is what you see on the left hand side of the screen is the topics which we discussed in the quant in the previous video, and this is again previous video important topics of DI. Now over here I just want to tell you one thing. This was a message or a comment from my friend. I guess it's Anjali. So she asked me that what about functions and inequalities? They do come, not every year, but of course, alternate years, you will definitely expect that. But the thing is that it is my from my personal experience, it's somewhere between your functions, and inequalities are falling somewhere between practice based and formula based. Just learning the formula is not enough for the functions case. You have to practice a hell lot of it. But at the same time, it's not fruitful, to be honest, Anjali. लग गया तो लग गया, वेरी गुड. अगर नहीं लगा तो इतने मतलब 2-4 दिन जो आपने स्पेंड कर दिए फंक्शंस पढ़ने में वो पूरे वेस्ट चल जाएंगे. So it's better to keep it aside. Only if you're done with all the things which I told you and you still have time in your hand, go for functions and inequalities. Okay, that's my perception. So I just wanted to make it clear over here. And guys, now the ones who are good in both the sections, who got 4 out of 4, for you people, remember that your strong area is quants. Definitely, that means you guys have to make sure that आपको अपना score maximize करना है. And if you go by my choices, I would suggest you something. I will be using a temporary pen over here because I'll be annotating over here multiple times for 7 categories. So please pay attention in the video. You will not get the annotations anywhere. Okay. So over here, for the ones who are doing really good, you people have to get through this. Finish this section in the next 4 days. Okay. Finish this section in the next 4 days. जो भी है ऊपर ऊपर से देख के सारे कुछ को खत्म करो. And this should be in your regular practice. This should be in your regular practice. Keep practicing it hard. Okay. If the topics which I wanted to focus more on is the TSD, average, and profit and loss. Okay. Of course, geometry also if you feel comfortable in it. But this will really help you not only to clear the cutoff but also to maximize your score. Coming quickly to the second category of people, so please pay attention. The ones after giving the test, if you find yourself in the second category where you did one quant question correct and two DI right, that means you are fairly good in DI. अब आपको क्या करना है? आपको अपना कट ऑफ DI के सहारे निकालना है. समझ रहे हो आप? So if you have to clear the cutoff using the DI section, you have to be more looking into these two categories जो बाकी लोग छोड़ देते हैं. Missing data and logic oriented. सबके बस की बात नहीं है, but if you are able to do two questions correct out of those lucky two questions you got in DI, that means you have that potential to go deeper into DI. So make sure your first approach for the next 5 days, बिल्कुल सीरियसली इन दो सेक्शंस पे आपको काम करना है. लॉजिक ओरिएंटेड एंड मिसिंग डेटा. These two are the most important things for you people who are doing fairly good in the DI section. Okay, and the other things are good enough. So a little bit of practice every day, like even 25 minutes or 30 minutes of practice every day with the numbers will be more than enough for you to clear the cutoff. And one thing which I forgot to tell you people here is, of course, the ones who are doing good in both the sections, your target attempt should somewhere vary from 22. Okay, try to attempt 22 questions with an accuracy of around 80-60% भी चलेगा. ठीक है. Go with this accuracy level, not 60%, but 80% to 70% की accuracy पे 22 मिनिमम क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट करने का सर में लेके जाना. ठीक है. मिनिमम, मैक्सिमम कुछ भी हो सकता है डिपेंडिंग अपॉन व्हाट द क्वेश्चंस आर इन द एग्जाम. ओके. एंड सिमिलरली फॉर द सेकंड कैटेगरी पीपल, योर second category and third category, both of you, your attempt rate should be around 18 questions. Okay, 18 to 19 questions minimum करने हैं हमें, ये सोच के चलना. That will really help you. Okay, that really help you in the exam. Even if you go wrong in 3-4 questions, उसमें भी चलेगा. 3-4-5 questions तक के लिए स्पेस है हमारे पास. ठीक है. 5 क्वेश्चंस तक भी रॉन्ग हो गए तो चलेगा, बट आपको अच्छी कट ऑफ भी मिल क्लियर हो जाएगी एंड अच्छी स्कोर भी मिल जाएगी, बिकॉज यू आर डूइंग मॉडरेटली गुड इन बोथ द सेक्शंस. ओके, जस्ट डिवाइड दिस, लाइक इफ आई एम सेइंग 18 क्वेश्चंस, राइट, डू इट 10 8 and 8 10 in both the sections. That means क्वांट जिसका ज्यादा अच्छा है, that they will go with 10 quant questions and 8 DI questions. जिनका DI अच्छा है, they will go with 10 DI questions, 8 quant questions, like that. Okay, now coming to the third category quickly. So in the third category, what we are going to see over here is, आप लोगों को अपना सारा ध्यान अपने क्वांट पे लगाना है, क्योंकि क्वांट आप डीआई से बेहतर कर रहे हो. सो फॉर यू पीपल हु फॉल इन द थर्ड कैटेगरी, द क्वांट chapters which you need to focus on, again, next 4 days, seriously this thing. Okay, finish off this modern maths and additional things which are all formula based within the next 4 days, so that it's fresh in your mind, and practice these sections on a daily basis. And the topics which you will be focusing more, which I suggest you, is geometry, profit and loss, averages, and time, speed, and distance. Because if you do these four topics, that will eventually somehow help you in the DI section also. So make sure you focus on that. And for the folks who are not doing, they're doing moderately well, you can give 1 day to logic based oriented DIs, जो कि आना ही आना है for sure. But then the thing is that focus more on number oriented and the simple line graph charts also. Okay. Oh yeah, how can I forget this? Multiple data. Multiple data is easy. Okay, guys. Remember, it's just one line chart, one pie chart, one bar chart, which they have, merged. So it's not difficult. It's only lengthy. So the ones who are able to do at least one of the DI questions correct, please go for this. Okay. Use this. That will be enough. And आपका strategy क्या होना चाहिए? 10 क्वांट के क्वेश्चन मिनिमम अटेम्प्ट करने हैं और 8 DI के questions minimum attempt करना है. This is for section 3 which I am talking. Now the category 4 people who have done moderate in both the sections quant and DI, for you folks it's very very important to understand that आप बीच में कहीं हो, ठीक है. ये भी काफी abundant population carry करेगा जो एक एक सही का करेगा. So for you people understand that आपको clear करने के लिए cut off you need a attempt rate of around 16 questions. मिनिमम अटेम्प्ट करने ही है, ये सोच के चलना है आपको कि मिनिमम 16 तो मैंने एग्जाम में अटेम्प्ट करने हैं. एंड इक्वल स्पेस्ड हो तो बढ़िया, वरना जो भी जैसे देखो इट्स ऑल अबाउट दैट एग्जामिनेशन. अगर यू फाइंड दैट ओके फाइन मैम आई सॉ दिस दैट ओके द क्वांट्स आर quant is really easier compared to the DI logic. So, okay, fine. I will go for the quant section more. So that's a instant decision which you people will take. But फिर भी keep it as a point that the sections which you need to important pay attention to, the ones who have done one of the questions correct. Again, 3 days, 4 days नहीं दे रही हूँ, सिर्फ 3 days बोल रही हूँ. Finish this in 3 days. Just go through the examples and the first few questions of this chapter. Just this much will be enough for 3 days. And for these questions, don't do everything. Avoid. You can avoid algebra. You can avoid number system. But the thing is that avoid does not mean that you will not look through the examples. ये मैंने पहले भी वीडियो में बोला था, examples तो आपको सारे chapters के देखने ही हैं. Provided when it comes to practicing for 3 hours or something, don't forget to practice geometry, profit and loss, average, TSD. ये चार आपको really help करेंगे to at least get a 6 questions correct हो ही जाएंगे. तो आपको चिंता नहीं करना है, ठीक है. एंड फॉर द DI सेक्शन अगेन, यू पीपल मल्टीपल डेटा, डिफरेंट लुकिंग डेटा में ट्राई कर सकते हो. क्यों? क्योंकि दिस इज रियली सिंपल. इट्स ऑल अबाउट कन्वर्टिंग दोज डायग्राम्स बैक टू नंबर्स. So give it 1 minute to look at that diagram. If you're able to find out what numbers are you able to change, go for it. Okay. So practice multiple data, different looking data, and number oriented data. For you people, this will be more than enough for clearing or attempting 16 questions in the examination. Let's say with an accuracy of 70-80%. Now coming to the fifth category of the people who are the ones who are doing very bad in the DI section. अब आपका क्योंकि ये bad है तो अब कोई time नहीं है improve करने का in the newer parts. अगर आपने DI के एक भी question नहीं बना पाया, that certainly means that you are not doing well in one of the DI sections. Okay, so for you to increase your marks, I can suggest you please go for number oriented DI questions and bar, line chart and multiple data. सिर्फ ये तीन के भरोसे आप कम से कम 4 से लेट्स से 2 सेट तो आराम से हिट कर सकते हो. और 2 सेट में 3 क्वेश्चंस होते हैं, दैट मींस यू कैन हिट 6 क्वेश्चंस. ओके, 6 क्वेश्चंस आराम से आपके DI में आप अटेम्प्ट कर पाओगे एग्जामिनेशन में. एंड व्हेन इट कम्स टू द क्वांट सेक्शन, you can go for 3 days of preparation for this. Okay, that is your formula based questions which only needs your theory and examples. And when it comes to practice based, please try to increase your proficiency in these two sections: profit loss percentages, average, and time and ratio. Okay, if you feel that your personal aptitude is towards TSD, you have practiced TSD a lot, go for that as well. And geometry, if you can remember the formulas only, that also will help you to attempt at least one question for sure. So for those people who have done, got only 1 mark in quant and no marks in DI, for you people, I would suggest that in the examination, target for 14 questions minimum. Go with a mindset that कुछ भी हो जाए 14 questions तो मैंने attempt करने ही है. मैं 8 questions attempt कर लूंगा. किसका? क्वांट का एंड 6 क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट कर लूंगा डीआई का। इस तरह का ब्रेकेज में लेकर चलना, दैट 2 सेट मुझे उठाने ही है डीआई के जो नंबर ओरिएंटेड होंगे या कोई सिंपल लाइन चार्ट ग्राफ या मल्टीपल डेटा से रिलेटेड होंगे, एंड एग्जामिनेशन में 8 क्वेश्चंस मुझे क्वांट से उठाने हैं जो ऑफ कोर्स कुछ फॉर्मूला बेस्ड चैप्टर्स में से 2-4 आ जाएंगे एंड 2-4 मेरे ऑफ कोर्स ज्योमेट्री, टीएसडी और प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस वाले सेक्शन से मैं ले लूंगा। दैट शुड बी योर mindset. Okay, same goes to the ones who are scoring a 1 but in the DI section, same 14 questions का minimum लेके चलना है, but the set will be उल्टा 6 quant questions plus 8 DI questions सोचकर आप चल सकते हो minimum which you have to attempt at any cost. And for the DI ones who are doing pretty good, please look into some additional things also. अगर आपकी DI अच्छी है तो मुझे आपसे expectation है कि आप missing data के sums भी आराम से बना लोगे, ठीक है? So go for additionally along with number, line and multiple, also go for missing data. And for the quant part, because you have done terribly bad in the quant in this small test which you conducted, so for those people who did not score any marks in the quant, please give this 5 days. Okay, I'm serious about it. Give this more number of days. Why? Because हो सकता है कि इन फॉर्मूला बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस में से आप 4-5 मार्क्स अटेम्प्ट कर पाओ, ठीक है? 4-5 मार्क्स अटेम्प्ट कर पाओ एंड फिर यहाँ से आपको जो भी 3 सेक्शंस पिक एनी 3 सेक्शंस ऑफ योर चॉइस। जिन्होंने कुछ भी नहीं किया है ना, जिनको 0 आया है क्वांट में, आई वॉन्ट यू पीपल टू सिलेक्ट योर फेवरेट टॉपिक्स ऑन योर ओन, बिकॉज जो भी टॉपिक्स यहाँ लिखे हैं उससे क्वेश्चंस तो आपको डेफिनेटली आने वाले हैं एग्जाम में। सो सिलेक्ट एनी 3 टॉपिक्स ऑफ योर ओन एंड ट्राई टू मैक्सिमाइज योर एक्सपर्टाइज इन दोस 3 टॉपिक्स ओनली। लेट्स से पर्सन ए सिलेक्ट्स प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस, एवरेज एंड टीएसडी, तो ठीक है, चलेगा। आप नेक्स्ट के जितने भी दिन बचे हैं डेली प्रैक्टिस के लिए इन 3 टॉपिक्स पे प्रैक्टिस करो, यू विल सी द रिजल्ट्स डेफिनेटली। ओके, एंड द लास्ट इन द 7th कैटेगरी जिन्होंने कुछ भी नहीं किया, आई मीन 0-0 पे रुक गए, कोई बात नहीं, वी स्टिल हैव 15 days इन आवर हैंड एंड वी विल मेक श्योर दैट यू डू बेटर इन द एग्जामिनेशन। आपका अटेम्प्ट रेट मिनिमम 12 क्वेश्चंस का होना चाहिए। कुछ भी हो जाए, दुनिया इधर से उधर टूट फूट जाए, 12 क्वेश्चंस तो आपको एग्जाम में अटेम्प्ट करके आने ही है। दैट कैन बी 6-6, दैट कैन बी 8-4, वट एवर इज कन्वीनियंट फॉर यू ड्यूरिंग दैट एग्जामिनेशन। ओके, एंड फॉर यू folks, please, now I'm going to annotate, not with the permanent, I mean, not with the temporary one, with the permanent marker. I'm going to annotate जिन लोगों को ऐसा लगता है कि उन्हें क्वांट में, डीआई में अभी कुछ भी नहीं आता, the sections which you need to focus on is number oriented questions, simple line bar chart questions, slightly one level up multiple data, इसका 1 level up है, longer calculations, that's all। ये 3 टॉपिक्स डीआई में आपको फोकस करने हैं। ऑफ कोर्स आपको इन सारे टॉपिक्स को जाकर विजिट करना है एंड फिनिश देम इन 3 to 4 days। ओके, फिनिश देम ऑल द टॉपिक्स विद एग्जांपल्स एंड थ्योरी। And in the practice-based questions, please give your full attention to geometry, profit and loss, average and time speed distance। अब इसमें से आपके पास चॉइस है कि आप किसी भी 3 सेक्शन में फोकस कर सकते हो out of the 4 which I have ticked। Whichever 3 you like, you feel comfortable doing, you please go ahead and do that. If at all there are some exceptions who find that, okay, I'm not good in quants, but I believe that my algebra is better than my TSD, you can take that also. Take any 3 topics from the practice set and practice it on a daily basis, but finish these 5-6 things which I have written at the top, which are formula based, in 3 to 4 days, कंप्लीटली विथ थ्योरी एंड एग्जाम्पल। पढ़ना कहाँ से है? पढ़ना आपको मटेरियल से है जो आपको टेलीग्राम में दिए हुए हैं। Otherwise you can also refer to the books which are again available in the telegram link, so definitely go and make ultimate use of it। एंड मैंने आपको ये अटेम्प्ट रेट दे ही दिया है तो आपको कोई डाउट नहीं होगा। दिस इज द मिनिमम अटेम्प्ट रेट, रिमेंबर, बिकॉज दिस विल चेंज अकॉर्डिंग टू द एग्जामिनेशन एंड द डिफिकल्टी लेवल ऑफ द क्वेश्चन। So I think I make sense throughout this video. If I did, then definitely like this video. If you are new to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel as well and share it, guys. Even if you are new, even if you are old, don't forget to share this video. I literally want to reach more number of people and therefore I need your help in this. Please share this video as much as you can and I'll meet you in the next one. If you want me to prepare any other video, related to these content, feel free to drop a comment below. I'll definitely note it and prepare a video on the same. Thank you so much. Work hard, guys. I really want you people to shine. Thank you so much.